Hello beautiful people, welcome back to another video. I am Tanish Fortson, your favorite virtual embroidery coach, and tonight's video is a very quick, simple, but fun tutorial on how to digitize for applique and stitch it out. So I'm making myself a sweatshirt, and we are going to be using this Just Hood sweatshirt, and we're going to be using this beautiful fall fabric for the applique portion. So if you guys are not familiar with applique, it is a process of sewing fabric into your material, and it's a three-step process that is really simple, which consists of a placement stitch, a tack down stitch, and your final stitch, which may be satin, bean, or any type of decorative stitch that you choose. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm not gonna waste any time. I am going to hoop my fabric right now. So we are using the 11 by 13 Mighty Hoop. It is one of my favorite Mighty Hoops because a lot of my designs are extremely large. So I am going to be using 3-ounce soft cutaway stabilizer. Let's get my sweatshirt on here. We are not using any solvay this time, unfortunately. I'm not doing a satin stitch or anything for this design. It's no heavy stitching whatsoever. I actually could get away with using just, what is it called? It's right here. I could get away with using just this no-show mesh, but it actually isn't long enough for the 11 by 13 Mighty Hoop. So me using 3-ounce cutaway for this simple bean stitch that we're doing is really overkill, but I will just roll with it. All right, and for my favorite part of the Mighty Hoop, all right, I'm gonna take this to the machine. We are going to meet up in the Embrillance software. I do Digitize using level 3 of Stitch Artist. Okay, so we are in the software, and I already have the basis of the bow that I am doing. Right now, I just have 5 shapes. We have the bottom left, the bottom right, the top left, and the top right. And then right here, we have the inner portion of the bow. So this is going to be applique, and I could simply select all 5, and I can enter into my digitizing software, which is this blue fan right here. I can click the applique button, which is this button right here. It says applique. I can click it. By default, it gives us the E-stitch, but I can come in, I could hit satin stitch, and everything is applique now. See how simple that is? But the problem with this applique is it's separated into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different appliques. So it's 5 different pieces, and I do not want this to stitch like that. Another way that you can do this is by coming up here to, where is it? Color sort, and it will sort it, and then that way you only have 3 stops, but you have to use the same fabric. You can't really switch out the fabric when you color sort like this. So I'm gonna cancel that because that's not the way I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna backspace and backspace to go back to the original because I do not want to do it like this. I want to manually set up my appliques so that this can stitch the way that I want it to stitch. The first thing that I am going to do is select all of these, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to hit copy, and then I'm going to hit paste. So another set will paste right under, and then I'm going to right click again, and then I'm going to hit paste, and then another set will paste. And we need to begin to separate these by color so that we can signal our machine to stop. We're going to separate by the first color, so I'm just going to grab the first. Remember, there's 5 pieces. I'm going to grab the first 5, and I'm going to come down here to color. I'm going to click on color, and it really doesn't matter what color, to be honest. I mean, I can hit this fluorescent green. So right now we have it set up. We have this green right here, and the machine will stop. So what we have done is signify for the machine to stop because there's going to be a color change. I'm going to come down here and then I'm going to select the next 5 pieces and I'm going to put another color changes, and there we have our applique stops broken into pieces. So let me just change the color real quick. I don't know, I'm just going to pick any color. I'm going to pick this deep purple color. This color right here is blackberry. So now we have our 3 steps in our applique. We have the placement, so it's going to stitch these 5 and then it's going to stop. We have the second color, which is our tack down. It's going to stitch these 5 and then it's going to stop. And then we have our third, which will be our final stitch. I'm not using a satin stitch, I'm going to use a bean stitch. So do you guys see how simple it is to kind of set up your own applique to make it do what you want it to do? I'm going to change it a little bit. Right now I just have simple run stitches. My first set of run stitches are just a single 2mm stitch. I really don't need to tie the ends because this is just letting us know where to put the fabric. I don't care too much how it stitches, because this is for my personal use. I would be more careful if I'm digitizing for someone. So I'm fine with the first set of runs. Actually, I am going to remove this center run. So let me go back so you guys can see. The first set of runs are fine. The second set of run stitches, I'm going to make some adjustments to. So since this is a tack down stitch, all of these will be tack down stitches. I am going to come over here and I'm going to change that from a single to a double because we want to strengthen the tack down stitch. Like, there's nothing worse than when you buy a design or something from a digitizer and that second run where you're tacking down the fabric isn't really strengthened, or it's not strong, or when you go to cut, the stitches break. So we just want to give a little reinforcement in these runs right here because they are tack down stitches. So I'm just going to do a double 2.5mm, and for these I am going to tie at the entry and the exit of all 5 of them. And then additionally, this right here, this middle piece, so this is what I'm talking about when you can digitize to what you are stitching and how you want your design. I need the machine to stop before the stitches because I'm going to use a different piece of fabric right here. So that's the beauty of digitizing. So I'm going to come right here to color and I'm just going to pick any old color, and right here the machine will stop so that I can put the different piece of fabric on the machine and it'll just stitch that. So now we have our last set of stitches, which is the final stitch. So I've already mentioned that these are not satin stitches. I want these to be bean stitches because we're going for like a raggedy edge look for this design. So I am going to come right here to my run stitches. I am going to go to a bean stitch. I'm going to do a 3-pass 3mm bean stitch. And I'm also going to tie at the entry and the exit of all of them. And we are actually done, you guys. Do you understand how simple this was to do? This bow is a little boxy because I used straight stitches. That's kind of the look that I'm going for. But when I am cutting the applique for, oh, what did I do? I don't know what I did, but I just undid it. But when I am cutting the applique in this area right here, I am going to kind of round the fabric just so it won't be so sharp. Okay, so we are done. We are going to save, stitch, and working, and this is a very large bow. So I'm gonna name it as L-A-R-G-E, large bow, and it is a bean stitch. And I'm saving it in my EXP files because that is what my Melco machines take. I hit save and they are saved. Now I am going to go up here to Melco and I am going to look for that file, L-A-R, large bow. Let's see if it fits in this. Ooh, let me see. Okay, so we need to shrink it about 1mm or so on each side. Come back to this. I'm just going to grab the whole design. I'm going to hold down the shift button so that my design can stay centered, and I'm going to take it in just a little bit. And now I'm going to hit save. I'm not going to save as. So I just want to update the working file. I don't want to, like, you know, make double copies or anything like that. So I'm going to hit the top one, which will save the file that I'm working in, and it will also update the file that I just sent over to the machine. So let's go look. I'm going to come right here and I'm going to type in large bow, and it should be the new one that will fit. Yay. Okay, so it fits now. You guys, out of all the thread that I have not one single green that matches this type of green. Let me grab my Madeira card. Hold on, let me open this up because this is unacceptable on all levels for me. So I'm just gonna take this fabric. It's pretty long, it's a whole meter, and I'm gonna put it right, next to, oh, I found one already. So number 1749 would be a good match, and 1795, which are these two right here. They would match great. But this is basically how you would match up colors if you're working ahead of time. So what we're going to do, we are going to use the brown color. We're going to use it on this. So I think it should look fine. It'll give it a little contrast, and the edges are going to be a little raggedy anyway, so I think it'll turn out fine. So I'm going to start the placement stitch, and then I am going to prep the fabric with Heat and Bond Light. All right, I have my design loaded, 1,000 stitches. Actually, I'm gonna change that to about 11 or 1,200 stitches per minute. 1, 2, 3. Presser foot is just set to 3, and let's put the thread on. So I am going to put this on cone number 11, and I'm going to go into the Melco software and put the correct color in. All right, so I just cut a piece of Heat and Bond Light, and this is going to go underneath the applique fabric, and once the shirt is done embroidering, we are going to press the shirt to seal the fabric into the sweatshirt. So we just need to cut a piece of fabric. I got this fabric years ago from Alibaba or something. No, AliExpress, sorry. AliExpress. Yeah, I got it for bows specifically because you guys know my story. I used to make children's bows, and this was gonna be like some winter bows, but I started embroidery and that was that. And then I was supposed to make my girls, like 2 skirts so that they can take fall pictures, but I never got around to it. So sewing is one of those things where I really want to improve my sewing skills. So I have all these patterns that I haven't did yet, sadly, but I'm planning on changing that. I want to sew more. So if you guys are wondering, my Digitize course is still open for people who want to learn how to digitize. I have a very strong opinion on digitizing. I think that if you embroider, and depending on your niche, you should know how to digitize. Like, there is no way possible that you should be in a niche, like, for example, doing custom orders. Like, if you digitize for other small businesses, there is no possible way that you should be doing business logos without knowing how to digitize, because I've did small business logos, and sometimes you need like a couple edits or last minute changes or just anything, and you need to be able to make those changes in a timely manner. So I just know that when I was getting a lot of my designs done, the whole communication process, it was the worst experience, and it is what pushed me to learn how to digitize. So let's get this on. I'm just gonna get the wrinkles out first, and then I am going to add the Heat and Bond Light. This is the side with the adhesive, and then this is the side that you're gonna toss in the trash when you peel it off. One day I'm going to get in industrial heat press. One day. Oh, and Please let me know if you like these types of videos, or if you prefer the type of video like I did last week, which was a work with me, workflow kind of video. Me personally, I do like doing tutorials better than work with me type of videos, but like I've always said, this channel is for you guys and I really want to be of service to you. So please let me know down in the comments below which style of videos that you guys would prefer to see. Ooh, ha ha. Ooh, hot. This fabric is beautiful. This little piece is going to be the bow buckle that's in the middle. I was supposed to get this started while I was heat pressing the fabric, but I forgot. Right now it's doing the placement stitches. So here is our fabric. Because I put in the color stop, my machine will push out if I set it for applique. So it pushes out a little bit. And you can technically cut on the machine while it's like that, but I really don't like to cut like that. I take it off the machine and I cut just because I'm least likely to cut the shirt. You know what? I'm gonna hit it with a tiny bit of 505 adhesive just so there won't be any movement. Here's my little box. Just a little bit, because you guys, like, these Melcos are super powerful, and when that needle goes down, especially if you're running at a high speed, boy, your fabric will shift. It will move. So you have to be cautious and careful. All right, let's do it. So pretty already. And I think I did a good call on the thread color. So remember, I did a double beam stitch just to strengthen while we are cutting. And I tied at the ends. So my machine is pushing out. And remember when I changed the color of that centerpiece? Well, that is because the centerpiece is a different color. I'm gonna grab it right now. It's gonna be this color right here. So we wanna get the fabric off and then lay this down so that it could do the tack down stitch for this. All right, let's cut. I am using the 6-inch curved ginger scissors. And then I put some little like finger reinforcers because, oh, I didn't tell you guys about that one time that I went viral. I literally had calluses. Yeah, it was awful. So I'm just trying to be careful. I'm also leaving a little bit of fabric. And then remember I said I wanted to round these a little bit. I don't know how, but I'm gonna try it. And my scissors are sticking to my mighty hoop. I wanna leave about maybe 1/4 of an inch or less. Okay, it's looking good. Ooh, yikes. So like this crooked cutting, yeah, that's a no. You kind of wanna cut nicely if you can, and I can. So I expect more of myself. Straighten up anything I may need to. This part right here is a little hard at the angle. I have to go downward. I really don't want to cut the sweatshirt. It just feels like I'm cutting the sweatshirt. I don't cut the shirts often, but it would be my luck that I cut when I'm filming. All right, let's just kind of round out these corners just so they're not so sharp. Now this right here, yikes. I'm just gonna leave it as is because I really don't want it to get too skinny. All right, let me stop because I will obsess over the fine details, but it looks great. And now it's time for this. Ooh la la. All right. So this little piece I could just cut right on the machine. still leaving about 1/4 of an inch. Actually a little bit less for this one. All right, now it's time for the final bean stitch. I'm gonna turn back on my heat press. Oh my gosh, it's done, you guys. It was so quick. This design only had 4,200 stitches. This is the final product. I love it. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to take a hard bristle brush and I'm gonna kind of ruffle up the edges because I'm going for a raggedy look, and I'm going to lint brush and then we're gonna heat press. All right, I couldn't find my brush, my hard bristle brush, but I have this hair dye brush and I have a toothbrush. So you guys just do whatever you need to do for your designs. If you run into a similar situation. Ooh, you wanna wash your fingers with these. All right, let's cut out the stabilizer. Oh, and by the way, by the time this video is published, my community should be up, Embroidery Mastery. It is a community for stitchers like ourselves to come together and learn and chat, bounce ideas off of each other. If you have a business, if you're a hobbyist, if you're just a grandma who likes to make fun designs for your grandchildren, I mean, I am welcoming to all. It's gonna just be a fun, safe space for everybody to join. We're gonna have monthly challenges, stitch challenges, design challenges. I will be doing some digitizing work. It's just, I'm so excited to create a space like this for us. It will be linked below. Oh, this is not doing what I want it to do. Let me see if the toothbrush will work. I don't know, it could be the material. I want it raggedy. It's barely doing anything if I'm being honest. Maybe if I use my fingernails, actually using my nails, I'm getting more traction than from these brushes. Oh, you know why? I think that is not like fraying how I want it to. It's the heat and bond. So the heat and bond stops fraying, you guys. So I don't know, I was gonna I think that I'm gonna I'm gonna turn off my heat press right now. So I have a mini Cricut and I'm gonna use a mini Cricut because I don't want these edges that I left out on purpose to get bonded to the fabric. So probably after a wash or so, it'll start to fray. But this heat and bond, you guys, is really doing its job by stopping the fraying. I didn't even think about that. So anyways, nonetheless, still cute. Not the exact vision that I had. Aww, it's still cute, but I'm a little disappointed. I really wanted the frayed look. I'm trying to think, is there any other way? I've seen people fray fabric with like a sander. Of course, I don't have that. I just have a pair of tweezers, just kind of pulling at the edges. It's really not this serious because when I wash it, it'll probably start to fray, but I wanted you guys to kind of see the vision that I had in my mind. So I'm just pulling at the edges and I'm already over it, so. Got my little Cricut mini press. I've had this thing so many years. I'm just getting areas that I want to press down. All right, here's the final results, you guys. Simple, sweet, and cute. The design possibilities are endless. You could change out the fabric for Halloween. You can change out the fabric for Christmas, for New Year's, for St. Patrick's Day, for the 4th of July. I mean, you can do a lot with a simple applique design, especially if you digitize. So thank you guys so much for all of the support I have received on my channel. I'm so excited. You guys have helped me get to almost 3,000 subscribers, and I have met my 4,000 watch hours, so I will be applying for a YouTube partnership. If it is in my, how do I say it? If it's in my power, now that I'll have more control over ads and commercials, I will only do ads at the beginning and the end of my videos, because there is nothing more annoying than when you're really into a tutorial and an ad or a video pops up and kind of disrupts that flow. So if it is possible, I will implement that in my videos, but keep in mind the ads are how you get paid. So it really would help if you support my channel in other ways, like buying courses, if there's a course that you want to take, joining the community, if you want to be more involved and improve your embroidery skills, even if you don't have the funds to do any of those things, just watching my video, liking it, and recommending it to other people helps as well. So do not forget to like this video and subscribe. And I also found out through my analytics that only 9% of you guys that are watching this video are actually subscribed to this channel. The other 91%, you guys are not subscribed, you're just watching. So it really helps my channel stats if you guys are subscribed and supporting. So thank you guys so much. I will see you in the next video.